3 months? That's half of 6! Hello everybody, my name is Echo, and ignore that stupid intro. We're not gonna talk about that for the rest of the video. So, yeah, I'm back after 3 months. You're probably wondering where I've been. I'm gonna get to that at the end of the video, if you at all care, because I kinda just wanna get into this. It's been too long since I made a video, so I'm gonna stop rambling, and we're just gonna get into the video. Editor's note, I then proceeded to ramble. Welcome back to the series where we give third kits to every weapon in Splatoon. Today we're going to be covering the short-range shooters, and for the next video I can confirm it will be Splatanas and Stringers. I confirmed that in the last episode, but you probably forgot about that because it's been 3 months. I need to stop bringing that up. Alright, let's move on. Now this series works pretty simply. We're basically going to look at the previous kits of the games, both Splatoon 1, 2, and 3 of course, and then we're going to, look at how the weapons that we're taking a look at actually play, and then we're going to combine all of this knowledge to make a third kit that I think would be good for the weapon, but also be balanced in the current state that Splatoon 3 is in. Now this is the third time I'm writing this video, and I want to point this out because in the previous 2 versions of this video, I made a kit that was absolutely busted. It was Burst Bomb and Trizooka on Aerospray. This isn't a hint to what I'm giving Aerospray now, do not worry. And that made me realize that I should probably think about the actual balancing of these kits. It's not something that really came to my mind originally because it was a state where I knew not to give things Trizooka because Trizooka was kind of busted and obviously 10 missiles is busted. But like, I really gotta step it up because what was I cooking? Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now I think the perfect place to start would be the good old classic Splattershot. As we all know, the Splattershot has had some pretty famous and pretty infamous kits, so I'm gonna make sure that we don't give it something like, Suction Bomb 10 missiles. I might have created that joke kit earlier, but I'm not that evil, Nintendo. Rather though, I'm gonna bring back an old kit, from Splatoon 2. Not that one, but one I've seen mentioned quite a lot on Twitter, as people seem to want the kit to come back. And that is the Burst Bomb Splashdown kit, funny enough. Now I totally get it. While I didn't get to play much of Splatoon 2, as I only got it to play Octo Expansion just before Side Order came out, but from the few games that I actually did play some Turf War, I can admit that kit is really fun. There's 100% synergy there with the Burst Bomb actually working really well with Splattershot. As well, of course, Splashdown from Splatoon 2 did actually combo pretty well with Splattershot itself, as the 70 damage hitbox went perfectly with the 36 damage shots of the Splattershot. Of course, Burst Bomb on a Splattershot is a very, very powerful option, so having that Splashdown, having that triple Splashdown to counteract the power of the kit definitely works, and I could genuinely see it being a kit that we get. But unlike Splatoon 2, Splashdown is actually pretty good. While it's certainly no top tier special, the buff that they gave it, the fact that it has 3 splashdowns now, is really good and definitely helped it out. So this kit would be arguably way funner and way better than it was in Splatoon 2, which I think is really good actually. Personally, I would love to see this kit return, as I really don't know what else a Splattershot could get that wouldn't be too good or too bad, I suppose. A weapon like this could literally get anything and make it work, and I think just bringing back an old kit makes a lot more sense, As for the Junior version of the weapon, things will be different. When making a kit for Junior, I do need to keep in mind that it has a bigger ink tank than every other weapon in the game, which will sway what I actually give the weapon. So what better way to give it a bomb that recently got a ink consumption nerf? That's right, Curling Bomb. You're probably wondering why, but it's actually because it synergizes well with the special that I give it, which is going to be Ink Vac. Now we haven't had a close range Ink Vac option in Splatoon 3, and I really don't know why, as because that's where you want to be using an Ink Vac, right next to your teammates, up close, so that you can suck up as many of those shots as physically possible. Every other weapon that has Ink Vac is either a backline or a midline, and while midline does make sense as well, a close range option would be a very unique option to see. And since Junior spends most of its time painting, mainly for its team to try and assist its team, the Curling Bomb is to get it in so that it can get next to a teammate in order to use that Ink Vac. There are definitely other weapons, other close-range weapons that would make more use out of an ink vac, but I think when it comes to the sheer amount of ink vacs that this weapon could get, as well as the fact that the curling bomb would be really helpful for the ink vac for getting in, as well as, you know, just the amount of paint being on the floor, this weapon paints a lot and ink vac steals paint, I think just all in all, this works. This as a kit would work. It would be a very, very fun, very unique kit, something that we haven't seen on Junior yet, which I know is going against what I said earlier, but it's a support weapon, and this is a support kit. So I'm still following my own philosophy. Don't worry about it. Now, I got through that segment pretty fast, but I will not be getting through this one fast, as I'm going to have to explain myself on why I gave this next weapon Fizzy Bomb. Sploosh O Matic. It's known for having two very good kits in Splatoon 3, both of them were meta, and one broke the game at one point. And here I am telling you it's realistic and pretty balanced for the game to give it the best sub-weapon, at least in my opinion. Yeah, you might think I'm crazy, and I cannot blame you. But when looking at the special I'm giving it, it makes a lot more sense. Zipcaster. Obviously, it's kind of like the one thing everyone wanted this weapon to get, and I understand why. It has perfect accuracy in the air and could make a good Zipcaster weapon. But it's also really close range, meaning you have to get like right in the face of someone. Not an issue until you realize that your main options are hitting the ground, which can be finicky sometimes, or hitting a wall and then having to jump off the wall, and then killing the opponent. And if you're in the air, you're going to be doing less damage from the damage fall off. It's also competing with Splatoon Stamper, like the best Zipcaster weapon in the game, and one of the best weapons in the game, so it's going to need something to set it apart and make it good. And Fizzy Bomb certainly would do that. Like I said earlier, I think Fizzy Bomb is the best sub-weapon in the game. It could work on literally any weapon, and be good on literally any weapon, because of just, it does everything. It's a lethal bomb, so it's capable of killing on its own. It's capable of doing chip damage. It's capable of high amounts of pain, similar to, and if not better, than X-Splosher. And this is all at the cost of 60% of your ink tank, by the way. Fizzy Bomb does everything, and giving it to shooters is questionable. But as a reminder, Zipcaster doesn't allow you to use your sub, so it's only going to have this Fizzy Bomb half of the time anyway. No, I'm 90% sure I don't need to explain why this thing has Zipcaster. It's a no-brainer. It has 0 inaccuracy in the air. It just kind of deserves it, you know? And I even had it in the trailer for Splatoon 3. Like, that is something that it was going to get, but ended up being replaced. I don't know why. Overall, I don't see this kit breaking the game, as Crab Tank is really good, and right now it's currently being used to get its team in. It's not actually, you know, fighting itself right now with the Neo Splash kit. So I think this kit overall would be pretty balanced, at least in my opinion. I could be wrong, so let me know in the comments. Now, while I'm on the topic of potentially controversial kits, let's talk about a very controversial weapon itself. 52 Gal, Splatoon 3's most annoying weapon to fight against. I don't really like this weapon, and this kit is not biased. Even though people are going to think this is biased for me hating the weapon, it is absolutely not. I have this weapon 4-starred. I think this kit would actually work. You're probably gonna hate me when I say this, but 52 Gal's kit will be Toxic Mist and Reef Slider. Now, seriously, hear me out. I think this kit could work, especially with 52 Gal, because, well, think about it. 52 Gal is a weapon that has the most range out of any of the short-range shooters, has the best kill time out of basically any weapon in the game outside of, like, a few weapons, and is a 2-shot weapon. It doesn't need a bomb, it doesn't deserve a bomb, and it doesn't really need a special that's really good. It only needs a special capable of getting it in, and funny story, Reslider's good at doing that. Assuming you don't die after you use it. Now, the main reason I specifically chose Toxic Mist and Reslider is because they would have a pretty interesting synergy. That being, you throw a Toxic Mist at the enemy, Reslider, it paints their feet, so they have to paint their feet, but they're also in the Toxic Mist, so they can't move anyway, even if they try to paint their feet, and then you just run them over and blow them up. Personally, I think this would be a really cool synergy thing that we haven't seen yet, I don't believe, and giving it to 52 Gal might be a mistake. 52 gal, even if you don't kill someone with the explosion of Reslider, can proceed to one-shot anyone hit by the 70 damage hitbox. But this kit is sorta reminiscent of a Splatoon 2 kit. It's not the same, and it's actually something I've only just realized while recording right now, but it's kinda similar to the Baller kit from Splatoon 2. Reslider isn't Baller, but it is similar in a sense, as well as the point sensor from that kit is sorta similar to Toxic Mist. It is not one-to-one, do not get me wrong, but there are some similarities there. And as we all know, that kit wasn't, you know, the best kit on the 52 gal. The two kits that this kit would be going up against is, one has a wall, and in my opinion, the arguably and definitely better, you know, global range special that makes you move, and a bomb on 52 gal. And that fucking special, but we don't talk about that. So it's not like this thing's gonna overshadow either of them. And I was originally gonna give it Booyah Bomb, but then I realized, nah, that feels like a bad idea. I think this kit would be very, very fun, actually. I think this would be one of the funner kits in the game, as 52 gal is a pretty fun weapon when it isn't missing its target. As well as all fairness, this weapon deserves to get a bad kit. It's the 52 gal. After all of its war crimes from Splatoon 2, does this thing really need a third kit in the first place? Well, I'm making this video, so clearly it does. Now, I'm going to stop throwing shade at this weapon and just move on, I reckon. So, let's talk about the, Sploosh O Matic.
Go back! I want to be
Hi, do you like fun? Do you like the idea of running people over with an invincible special that no one can really do anything about other than dodge it? Great, well I have the kit for you because Sploosh O Matic will be branded with the Kraken Royale special as well as a Splat Bomb, because the Splat Bomb on the previous third kit was really, 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 really fun. And with that, I don't really need to explain anything else. I mean, obviously this weapon should have a Kraken Royale. Like, I'm not making the same mistake I made with the Dualies video and give the one weapon that wants to run people down and would make the best, you know, the best use out of a Kraken, a fucking splashdown. Although that was what I was initially going to give it. Now I'm going to try and keep this pretty swift because this one, I mean, I really don't need to explain much, but also because the other ones I've been explaining a bit too much and I'm running out of time with this video. Splat Bomb on this weapon has been used in, I think, both of the previous games, although correct me if I'm wrong. And from what I've seen on Twitter and other places, people genuinely love that kit. The Sploosh O Matic 7 from Splatoon 2 was a pretty fan-favorite kit with, I believe, Ultra Stamp and Splat Bomb. Now, of course, I can't exactly give it that kit again because, well, it already has Ultra Stamp on a arguably as fun kit, but also not as fun, depends on who you ask. So instead, why don't I just use a special very similar to that, and that would be the Kraken Royale, obviously. I mean, they basically, well, they don't do the same thing, but they want to do the same thing, you know? Splat Bomb as well, all around. You can use it at ranges outside of the Sploosh O Matic, which will give you the ability to run, like, to get in. Kraken Royale is also a thing that would get you in, get into places that you normally wouldn't even be able to get into normally. And God forbid if there's a Hydra or, you know, a Elier where if you even dare try to get out into the open, you're just dead. Well, no, because you have a Kraken now. It's cool. All around, this kit would be incredibly fun. I really don't need to justify it. This is just a fun kit, and it wouldn't be overpowered because, I mean, it's a Sploosh O Matic, and it has a Kraken. Kraken's not the best special in the game right now, especially after it got nerfed, even though the nerf was unjustified, at least in my opinion. And the Splat Bomb wouldn't make it overpowered either. I mean, it's a Splat Bomb. Yeah, it's like the best all-around bomb in the game, but it's on a Sploosh. What's it gonna do with that? It can't combo. Anyway, moving on. Right, we got two more weapons to talk about, and I think it's about time to talk about Aerospray. I mean, I teased it at the start of this video about, you know, my previous Aerospray kit, which was Burst Bomb and fucking Trizuka. Why would I do that? I can't even justify it now. I'm speaking like XQZ, trying to think about it, but, you know, that's beside the point. But now, I'm a changed person, you know? Like, I know not to do that. Why would I think it was a great idea to give the one weapon with the best paint in the game, the best special in the game? What was I thinking at the time? I'm not making that mistake anymore. But it is getting Burst Bomb, because Burst Bomb, it's had it on both of the previous games, and I don't know why it didn't get it in this game. Like, why? were they planning on making third kits, but they ended up not doing so? Because I don't actually think we're getting third kits. I know people have hope, but I don't think so. Which begs the question, why does this thing not have Burst Bomb? It got it in both of the previous games, and it worked really well on both of the previous kits, so why not this game? Well, either way, it gives me an easy option for what, sub I should give it. So, Burst Bomb on this weapon makes sense. I don't really need to explain it. Just play the other two games if you want to figure it out. Well, you can't play Splatoon 1 anymore, can you? Play Splatoon 2. I should probably actually explain why it works. Obviously, it's very simple. Chip damage. This thing's a 5-shot kill and has very, very bad accuracy. This thing doesn't kill very well at all. Contrary to popular belief, this weapon sucks. Like, is really bad. I get that it paints well, but I don't play Turf War. I hate the mode, so I'm not evaluating it in terms of Turf War, and yeah, this thing is really bad. So, shaving off some shots to kill is really, really helpful. Obviously, it's only like 1 to 2, or maybe 3 if you hit a direct, I think. I'm not entirely sure about the damage on this weapon. I've played it once in my life, and it was for getting the footage for this video. This weapon needs help when it comes to killing. But I have a great idea. What if instead of using your main weapon to kill things, you instead used a massive, I mean massive, it's like 3 times the size of you. You use a 3 times the size of you squeaky hammer instead. That sounds like a great idea. So, we're giving it Ultra Stab. Aerospray and Sploosh are kind of similar, but not. Like, Sploosh is capable of killing, but it also has less range, but they have the same accuracy and are both very good at painting. I see them quite often whenever the few times I go and play Turf War, and yeah, I do think that they are very similar. So giving it a similar special makes sense. The only reason I'm really giving it Ultra Stamp is because I really can't think of anything else to give it. Like, so many other things are on very similar weapons, or stuff like that, or it just wouldn't work on an Aerospray. Like, you wouldn't exactly want a Zip Caster on an Aerospray when the thing, can't exactly aim. Giving it Crab would be a mistake, because we already have 3 shooters in the game that have Crab. We don't need a 4th one. Same goes for Tri-Strike, and, well, Inkjet, the other one I was considering, is on Long Aerospray, Nova, so there's no real reason to put on there. Overall, I think this kit would be fun, definitely. Good? Probably not, but whatever. Aerospray isn't going to be good competitively, and that's mainly just how I look at this game. But on the contrary, it definitely would be good in terms of Turf War. I won't even deny that. This would be a very good Turf War kit. So, Turf War fans, don't worry. This is a good kit. Whether I think it would be used more than the Booyah Bomb kit, I have no idea. But, I mean, considering the Fizzy Bomb and Reachlighter one isn't used over it, which I find really weird, probably not, unfortunately, but whatever. What do I know? Last but not least is N-Zap. And I know that my custom art for the video is inaccurate to how N-Zap looks. I really can't be arsed to go back and change it. It's taken me far too long to make this video in the first place. I don't want to take longer to make it. So don't go commenting, oh, you missed the buttons on the side of N-Zap. I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware. With that being said, let's get into its kit, because this kit is kind of weird, honestly. Originally, like I said earlier in the video, that I was going to give it the back that Junior has. But then I thought, okay, maybe not. Maybe we could go more into making it more of a fighter, because unlike Junior, this thing can fight, but not very well, It's certainly no Aerospray, but it's also no Splash or Shot or even 52. But it is still capable of fighting and defending itself really well. So giving it a kit that more complements that, I think would work. Which does kind of mean that we're going to be giving it a Curling Bomb again. So two things in this video got a Curling Bomb. It wasn't intentional, but it has happened. I'm not like some Curling Bomb connoisseur. I really wish it wasn't on the N-Parry Splat Dualies, which are my main weapon. Well, not N-Parry specifically, but beside the point. This just kind of complements the aggressive behavior I want to promote with this. And while, yeah, I could have gave it Fizzy Bomb, this thing already paints well enough and has a special that's also going to be painting very well, so giving it a Fizzy Bomb doesn't really seem like a good idea the same way that I give a Fizzy Bomb to Splash, because that one has a special that can't really paint very well. It's a Zipcaster, Which leads me perfectly onto what special I will be giving it, that being Ink Storm. because for some reason we don't have a lot of Inkstorm, like close-range Inkstorm weapons. And Inkstorm's recent buff with the whole you can heal while in it is still supportive, so it plays into the supportive nature of this weapon, but also allows it to fight pretty well as well, because you can combo pretty well off of that. Can I stop saying pretty well? You can combo pretty well off of the Inkstorm. Of course, Zap recently got a change where it now does 30 damage instead of 28, so you only need 10 points of damage from the Inkstorm in order to combo to get a 3-shot kill with Zap, which is pretty easy to do, might I add. It's kind of the same reason why I gave Dooley's Killer Whale, although Dooley's have more reasons for getting Killer Whale in my previous video, but there is still very similar reasons, and the main reason is the combo potential is just, it's there, it works, and it would be really cool to see on a weapon like this. Ever since the buff, I honestly just wanted to see it on more supportive weapons. It's mainly the Brella, because like you could hold the Brella while you're healing in the Inkstorm, and that would be really, really powerful. But other options like N-Zap, or you know, other supportive options like a Charger, honestly could make it work. And it's unfortunate that we got it on Nautilus, which, don't get me wrong, it's a good kit, but yeah, you know, not the best kit in the world. And then Splasher, which got a kit later on that just ended up being better than the original kit, so, you know, it's unfortunate. Inkstorm in this game is just kind of unfortunate. It's a good special, but it's not really being used, so giving it to more options that could make use of it, like an N-Zap, I honestly think, you know, good idea. And with that being said, that's all the kids. Thank you all so much for watching. Now, I know at the start of the video I did say that I would go into why I have been absent for a while, but due to the length of this video, I'll leave it to just a comment on the video. So if you at all care, just go to the top comment, that's what it'll be. As for what's next, like I said, Splatana's stringers, I did say that I was going to do them. I did intend to make that video as the season that came out with the new Splatana stringer came out, but I kind of, you know, disappeared for a while. But that does mean the next video will be that. But I do still want feedback, so if you want to let me know what I could do better in these videos, maybe if one of the kids were really bad or there was a better option for the kid, please let me know in the comments. And if you at all want to support me, if you care enough about these videos, like and subscribe. It's the best thing you can do. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all when I find a sword.